Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode. So in last episode, we took on the Philadelphia Flyers in the conference finals, and we actually beat them in only 5 games. So we've been to every single situation so far, except for a sweep here in the playoffs. As in round 1 against the New Jersey Devils, we won the series in 6 games, and then we beat New York in 7 games and Philadelphia in 5. Our offense has just been on a tear in the last 4 games. As you can see, we average around 5 goals almost per game. So if that continues, maybe we will win our first Stanley Cup in only year number 3. And the funny thing is, we're going up against the Minnesota Wild, who we just literally did in our last GM mode. So I think I actually made the Stanley Cup Finals with them in 2019-20 as well. If you guys want to go check that out, you could go do so. But anyways, let's show you guys the lines for the Minnesota Wild. I already showed you guys them last episode, but I kind of went over them a bit quickly because my mom was home, so I wanted to just get the episode done. But anyways, here is the lineup for the Minnesota Wild. As you can see, Zach Parise, who is close probably to his retirement age, alongside of Mikael Granlund and Nino Niederreiter. Solid first line, but it's nothing fancy. And then the second line, you got Jason Zucker, Matt Duchene, and Mikhail Bodker. So the wingers are, again, not that good, but the center is good. So you got good center depth for the entire forward core. And then third line, you got Joel Armia, who we just literally traded there at the start of the season for, Budnieves. And then you got Charlie Coyle, Alex Chiasson. So it's a solid defensive line, actually, because you got 2 power forwards and a 2-way forward. And then the fourth line, you got Marcus Foligno, Luke Kunin, who's kind of an offensive player. Let's see, how's he been? Because this is the actual one that EA made. So he's not the greatest offensively, only 4 points in 18 games. And then you got Henrik Sedin, who's the veteran down there on the fourth line. So it's a nice offensive core, but it's nothing super strong. Like, it's better than ours on that fourth line, but other than that, I think we're probably pretty close. Defensively, you can see they have a very good top 4 for the most part. It's like similar to ours, except for Suter's dropping off considerably. And the top 6 pairing is really weak in comparison to ours. Like Pessy is dropping off for us. Same with Paul Martin. So they both are the same overall wise. But Jake Bean is definitely way better than somebody like Jordan Osterle. So I think we got the defensive upper hand. And then we also got the upper hand in net. As you can see, Devin Dubnyk is dropping off. So I think we should be able to actually win the Stanley Cup, but you never know how Minnesota actually simulates. We have home ice once again, so despite finishing, we finished pretty high in the standings, didn't we? I just want to see where we were in comparison to Minnesota. So we were 6th best. Minnesota just squeaked into the playoffs. Yeah, they didn't have the greatest record. They only scored 202 goals. So their offense wasn't that good. They let in a lot more than they scored. So they're kind of a cheese team, and their power play was really bad. Their penalty kill was okay. It was pretty decent. And yeah, they weren't good on either situation. So if we're lucky, we will be able to beat them, because it seems like they're that cheese team that could go on to win a Stanley Cup. But then again, we were a cheese team once getting to that conference finals in year number 1. So let's see if we could get our first Stanley Cup since 2006 and only the 2nd Stanley Cup in Carolina Hurricanes franchise history. So I think did Carolina have home ice in 2006? Yeah, I think they did, actually. So never mind. I was going to say the first time having home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup Finals, but game number 1 here on home ice. We're going to slow sim every game of the Stanley Cup Finals just to make it a bit more intense. And they open the scoring, and it's Alex Chiasson. That's not good. Their third line comes through. We want our third line to come through. There you go. Sebastian Aho, top line scores. Might be a bit of an offensive series if it continues like this. But as I was saying, our third line had a really good last 2 rounds, as you could see, or well, as you saw with the stats and stuff like that. Kapanen and Waugh, and can't remember who the other one is. Kukin, or not Kukinen. I don't even remember his name now. What the heck? But anyways, those 3 guys, they put up a lot of points in the last round. So anyways, it was 1-1 after 1, and of course Joel Armia has to come through here in the Stanley Cup Finals against us. It is now 2-1 Minnesota, so that's their third line coming through again for them. So we got to shut down that third line somehow. I don't know why they're playing so good offensively. And we're down 2-1 going into the third and being outshot by like quite a bit, 28-16. Come on, guys, let's just tie this game up and bring it to overtime or take the lead even. And really, Joel Armia is going to score his second of the game. Armia is going to be like the new Dadonov for this series or something. And Zucker's going to make it 4-1. Yeah, this first game is a lost cause. I might have to do some line changes right away, just to shake things up a bit. And we lose game 1 by a score of 4-1, getting outshot 41-23. Not very good performance. Like, it was okay up until the second period when Armia scored. Yeah, so Armia is up to 5 goals, and Chiasson has 7 goals in the playoffs for them. So their third line's outplaying their first line, which is really odd. So if we could shut down that third line, maybe we have a chance of winning this series. So I am going to, I think, change up the lines. Yeah, I think I'm going to change up the lines a bit again. Just give it a little time to maybe have our offense show up. So what did our lines look like even? Because I've jumbled them around a lot. We're going to keep the third line the same. And the fourth line, I think. I feel like... What was Logan Brown's face-off? 78. So they're better than Lindholm's. But you know what? We're going to put Logan Brown as a right winger for now. Because he's got a good slap shot and stuff like that. So, like, Lindholm could feed him passes maybe and he could shoot them. Special team-wise, I'm going to keep everything else the same, though. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll put Teravainen on the center and put Brown on the wing here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just a quick little change with Logan Brown. It would be cool if one day Logan Brown could be our captain and win us a Stanley Cup, considering he's from Raleigh. It would just be cool, the hometown kid winning a Stanley Cup, you know. So here we go, game number 2. We need to win this game, boys. I don't want to fall down 0-2 going back to Minnesota. So the slow sim again. We're getting outshot so far here, 4-0. There you go, power play, 5-on-3. Come on, guys, you got to get a goal, and we don't score on it. Another power play opportunity, and we still don't score. I was hoping those power play changes would help us out, but it didn't help us out there in the first period, going 0-for-3, I think. And it is scoreless after 1. Shots are 11-7 in favor of the Wild. Come on, boys, so let's get back into this. It seems weird going for Carolina over this, because I feel like I want to go for Minnesota just because we just literally did the Minnesota Wild GM mode like a couple months ago. And there you go, Adrian Kempe, the third line comes through for us. Nicely done, guys. That third line has been beast in the playoffs. Like, Kapanen's like a +15 or something. And we have a 1-0 lead going into the third period. Shots are 20-16 in favor of us. So let's just get an insurance marker and lock down this game, guys. And Paul Martin, really? Where are these guys coming from? Like, these guys that aren't even that good seem to be coming through for the Minnesota Wild. And penalty gun, last 7 minutes. Come on, boys. Let's either win this game or bring it to overtime and then win it. And it is here in game 2. Shots are pretty close, 29-26 in favor of us. Come on, guys, let's get that winner. We've came through with a couple OT winner series before. Do we have another one in us? Shots are still really close, 34-33 now at this point. It looks like we're going to be potentially going to a second overtime period again. And no, we're not. And it's Adrian, his second of the night. That's like his third 2-goal game or third multi-point game he's had in these playoffs. And we have tied the series here in the Stanley Cup Finals. So that's a huge goal from him. And what a surprise, Kapanen picking up 2 assists in that game as well. while picking up an assist. So that third line has just been amazing. I think I want to keep that line together next year as well, if I could keep all those players. But that line is actually pretty crazy because like they're not even making that much salary and they've been putting up a lot of points. Like I'll show you guys even just because like this episode might be a bit of a longer one, but I want to show you guys some cool stuff with this stuff. So let's see, how much is the third line making in like total roughly? I feel like they're making not that much. So 2.6 for Kempe, 705. Like they're making less than $5 million combined, which is pretty crazy. We're gonna have to sign all of them almost back for Kapanen this offseason. So yeah, that third line has just been a really good one that I put together. Okay, so let's get into game number 3. We're back in Minnesota now at the XL Energy Center. Hopefully we could take the series lead here and maybe take both games going back home. That would be nice. But at least take one game. That would be the best situation. So we opened the scoring note early here in game number 3. Is Jeff Skinner gets us on the board. Nicely done, Jeff, the captain. I didn't even know he was listed as the captain, but whatever. Power play, and we don't score on it, but we still got the 1-0 lead. And it is going to be 1-0 us after 1. Shots are 9-7 as well in favor of us. So let's just keep it up, boys. Get some more insurance. Shots are still pretty close too, so this seems like it's anybody's game at the moment. Last 10 minutes here of the second period. We've been locking them down so far. Power play, and there you go. Victor Rask comes through, and we have a 2-0 lead. That is a huge goal, especially going into the third period, as we still have a 2-0 lead. Shots are 22-17 as well in favor of us. Come on, boys. Let's just keep it up. Last 15 minutes here in the third period. Power play again. We scored once already, but we don't score there. Last 10 minutes of the third period. Let's just lock them out, boys. Lock them out. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Last 5 minutes. And there you go. Elias Lindholm with a huge insurance marker. And Falk gets the empty netter. And we win game 3 by a score of 4-0. And have taken the lead in the series in the Stanley Cup Finals. So Skinner from Aho and Falk. Rask from Skinner and Aho. Lindholm from Skinner and Brown, and Falk from Lewis Turinainen. So there you go. 3 stars, Mrazek, Skinner, and Falk. So the third line didn't come through that game, but it was a nice win. Oh, that is actually not good. I turned up the injuries slightly, like from 8 to 10, just because we have not had an injury in all of 3 seasons. And we have finally suffered our first injury, and it's to Noah Hannafin, one of our top defensemen. And he has basically gotten a sore shoulder for the rest of the season. So Dylan DeMello, it's going to ride on you if we could win a Stanley Cup or not. Holy, that is not good. So Slavin, you are going to be playing on the top 2 pairing. Wait, yeah, let's see. I think Slavin. Wow, that is not a good injury at this time. Jake Bean, you could go up. And Dylan DeMello. Let's just go into that line because I don't want Dylan DeMello going in the other lines. And then we'll put, we'll put Slavin on the power play. Damn. That is not a good injury at this point in time. Hopefully, if Dylan DeMello gets us like the Stanley Cup winning goal or something, that'd be pretty funny. Yeah, let's go like that. And let's put in here. Let's put Pesci, give Pesci some more ice time just to cheer him up a bit more, but we're still going to probably have to flip him in the off season. Hopefully this doesn't screw with chemistry too much. Okay, I think that's almost every line. Still extras, wow. Yeah, Hannafin was in a lot of lines, so this is definitely a big loss to the team. And Hannafin was playing pretty solid, I think, too. 3-on-3. Is Jake Bean on 3-on-3? No, he's not. It doesn't really even matter about 3-on-3, to be honest, because there's no 3-on-3 in playoffs. Imagine if there was. an extra attacker. Let's just put Skinner, I guess. Okay, so there you go. Our lines are set and ready to go. Oh, so yeah, he's not back till, yeah, after the playoffs. Damn, that was not a good time to have an injury. So our first injury of the series is at a key time, as we're up 2-1 in the series. Hopefully we could still take like a 3-1 series lead or a tie series going back home. So here we go, boys. Game number 4. The first game actually for Dylan DeMello in Minnesota, or not Minnesota, what the hell? Carolina. Let's see if we could get a win here. If DeMello comes through in his first game, that would be pretty amazing. We're running away in the shot total already, 9-0. That's a good sign always when you're out shooting him by a lot. Penalty kill, nicely done. Penalty kill again. Stop taking penalties, whoever's doing that. Okay, so scoreless after 1. We still have the shot advantage. Penalty kill again. Holy crap, who's taking all those penalties? It's risky taking penalties like that. Oh, and they're gonna open the scoring, and it's Luke Kunin, making it 1-0 Minnesota. They've actually caught up in shots too now because of all those power play opportunities. And it's 1-0 them going into the third period. Come on, guys. We need to find our offensive touch. I know we just lost Hannafin, but we got to win the cup for him. We got to do it for Noah. Here you go, power play, and we don't score. Power play for them. And Logan Brown scores a shorthanded goal to tie the game. That is huge. Damn. And Lewis to Ryan may be coming through with another game-winning goal as that third line comes through. And we have a 2-1 lead. Last little bit, and we are going to take a 3-1 stranglehold in the Stanley Cup Finals and have a chance to win the cup on home ice. So we win the game without Noah Hannafin. That was huge. Logan Brown's shorthanded goal was a big one too. So Peter Mrazek gets first star, Kunin star, and Dubnik the third. Okay, so let's get into our game 5, I think. Let's just quickly check the player stats for a second. So Skinner now has the point lead, 19 points in 22 games. Okay, so here we go. Game number 5. We have a chance to win the cup on home ice. Couldn't have sent it any better myself. So here we go. If we have a chance to win the Stanley Cup, I'll jump into the game so you guys can watch it. Like always, Terravine already opens the scoring for us. Nice Evo, or Toivo, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Oh, wow, Parise tied it up, but then Victor Rask answers right back as we are having a bit of an offensive first period here. The goalie's not showing up that well. And it is going to be 2-1 us after 1. Shots are also 12-11 in favor of us, so it's a very tight game so far. Let's just keep it up here in the second period, boys. There you go, Sebastian Aho. So the big boys are coming to play. And we're up 3-1 now. That's a huge goal. But Suter's going to pull Minnesota back in it. So it's a 3-2 game now. There's still loads of time to play. Last 5 minutes here of the second period. Oh my goodness, Marcus Foligno's going to tie it up. Really, the fourth line comes through for them. And it's a 3-3 game going into the third. Shots are 28-20 in favor of us, but it's a tie game. So this is anybody's game now. Come on, boys. We need to get that goal to put us ahead. Power play. Come on, let's do it. And we don't score. Last 10 minutes here. The third period power play again. There you go, Sebastian Aho with a huge goal. Let's put it down to 4-time simulation just because we're getting into critical time. That's a huge goal from Aho, making a statement. So we'll intervene when there's like 1 minute or so left. Just because I don't want, there you go, 1 minute left. Because I don't want to risk stuff. So anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys watch. If we don't win the Stanley Cup for some reason, like if they tie it up and then win it in overtime, then we will, we'll just like continue with the simulation. So I'll see you guys back up here in a second.
If you're just with us, it's been a tremendous bit of hockey so far and more to come. Minnesota's won that neutral zone faceoff. Laid on to Suter. Decides he wants the corner. We are in the 60th minute out of 60. Blocked away. Puck covered, whistle blown. One last risky attempt to get back in this game. You pull the goalie, put an extra man out, and you should win the faceoff, or you're in trouble. Carolina's in possession as they travel in the defensive zone. A good stick there, so no complete pass. Snapped up the wing to Teravainen. He lost it, tumbled down to one knee. Pitching this one to Parisi. Moved along and in. What a hit!
Falk's ability around the league is eye-catching, but when he uses the body, everybody takes note.
Net open! No luck! Smart recovery by Zucker. What a dream realized for so many of these athletes and all their fans. Your name goes on it, the Stanley Cup.
So there you guys have it. We have won our Stanley Cup. I'm actually going to talk while the celebration is going on, just because I think there's like some copyrighted music that's going on in the background, and I got a copyright strike kind of last time I did this, so might as well talk over it. So a very good performance from our team. The Stanley Cup winning goal coming from Sebastian Aho. Very good performance from Peter Mrazek, getting us to that Stanley Cup Finals, because I think without him we would have been a lost cause, and then our offense showed up actually a lot too, that third line especially. I think they had like an average age as well, that third line of like 21, 22. So Peter Mrazek's getting the Conn Smythe. Look at that, 1.95 goals against average and a .934 save percentage, I think it said. Not a surprise that he got it, because like none of our offensive players were a point per game. So Jeff Skinner will be getting the cup first, I guess, and then I don't know who he's going to pass it to. Hopefully Logan Brown gets it, because I want to see the hometown kid with the cup. So some of our depth guys never even got to play for us yet, though, like Soshnikov and Bunyeves. So there you go, Jeff Skinner getting the cup from Gary Bettman, even though that doesn't even look like Gary Bettman. There you go, Skinner. So Carolina has now won 2 Stanley Cups in 14 years. Not too bad. So who's he going to pass it to? He's going to pass it to, I think that's Jake Bean. Or is that Hayden Fleury? Yeah, it's Hayden Fleury. Hayden Fleury in his second or third season. Wait, fourth season maybe. Yeah, his fourth season in the NHL, getting a chance to hoist the cup. And he passes it along to, who is this? Aston Reese, who's probably somebody that's going to be traded away eventually. Coming over from the Pittsburgh Penguins in that deal. For Jaromir Jagr, he's definitely helped us out like on the bottom 6 for sure. He was a good offensive piece actually during the regular season too, so I think that acquisition was a pretty good one, even though he didn't show up much in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who's he going to pass it to? Oh yeah, he passes it to the goalie now, and then that's it. So he's passing it to Mrazek, so Mrazek gets his chance with the cup now. At least he got to leave Detroit, and because Detroit was just not that good of a team for him. Not a really good fit, because Detroit's been kind of in a rebuilding situation for the last few years. So there you go, our team photo. Might put that in the thumbnail, I don't know. Well, actually, then that'll spoil it, so there you go. Let's see who gets to the 3 stars. So Sebastian Aho, holy crap, I didn't realize he had that much points in that game. 4 points In the game that clinches us the Stanley Cup, Rath gets second star with 3 points, and Falk gets the third star with 2 assists. So pretty solid game. We definitely outplayed them 37-30 in shots. Hit as though they outplayed us and stuff like that. So very good offensive showing there, and we have our second Stanley Cup. Well, our first in this franchise mode, first in only 3 years so far. So we still have like 22 more years to potentially win another. So there you go. So let's advance a couple days so we can see the awards, and we'll also check the player stats for the playoffs for us. So we've won the Stanley Cup, and the Calder Cup is the Toronto Marlies. Interesting. Okay. So let's take a look at our player stats first, and then we'll check the awards, I think. And then we will sim to the draft. Let's see. I might want to move up in the draft as well because there's a potential franchise goaltender. So, oh, sorry about that. Probably have to cut that out. Oh, okay. Anyways, player stats for the playoffs. So Aho, Skinner, and Rask pretty much almost all had 20 points. Rask had only 19. Teravainen had 18. So yeah, the big guys came to play for us, definitely. Falk 15, Kemp and Kapanen both 13 points, and look at Kapanen plus 18 in the playoffs. He's only 23 years of age. Kemp's only 23, and I think Wall's only like 21 or 22. So that third line is young and great. Brown 12 points, so he actually had less even than Kapanen, which is interesting. Lindholm 10 points, Fleury 10 points, Luosterainen, Hannafin, Waugh, and Slavin all 8 points. Gauthier 5 points, Aston Reese only 4 points, Bean 3 points, and Pesci 2 points, and no points for Dylan DeMello, and he was a -1. So everybody contributed to the Stanley Cup win except for DeMello, but DeMello was only in it for 2 games, so everybody that played for most of it won us it. And then Mrazek, as you can see, 16-7, 2 shutouts, a .933 save percentage, and a 2.03 goals against average. So definitely a very good playoffs for him. I'm hoping he has a good year of statistical growth, so he's up to like an 89, because I've seen him do that before. He's making still only $3 million for the next 2 years, so definitely a good goaltender to keep around for a bit until Ulanov is ready. Oh yeah, we had to check the awards, goddammit. And then yeah, we'll sim up to the draft, and I'll show you guys the draft class again, even though I think it's probably going to be another pre-recorded episode, because I think this is out next week, or the week afterwards. So let's check out the awards. So we won the Stanley Cup. The President's Trophy was the Vancouver Canucks, who I guess must have got eliminated in like the first round. Clarence S. Campbell Bowl goes to Minnesota. Carolina gets the Prince of Wales. Like we were saying, we get the Prince of Wales. Art Ross, Sagan. Ben gets the Hart. Carlson gets the Norris back-to-back season. Sagan gets the Bing. And Elias Pettersson gets the Calder. Interesting. Peter Mrazek gets the Conn Smythe. Hellebuck gets the Vezina and the Jennings. John Merrill gets the Bill Masterton, Connor McDavid the Selke, Jamie Benn gets the Lindsay, and Maurice Richard goes to Tyler Sagan. Then in the AHL, let's just take a look. Shane Bowers, who I made, Eric Brandstrom, Louis Domingue. So anybody for us doesn't look like it. Okay, so now let's sim up to the draft. See if we lost anybody to retirement, which I don't think we did. A really young team. Because I think most of our players are still in their prime, like in their 20s. This might be a bit of a long episode. I think right now it's actually almost up at 30 minutes. So I apologize for the length of this video, guys. But what can you do? So let's go like that. And boom. Okay. So Hannafin actually just recovered from his injury. That's funny. So the first overall pick belongs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wow. Damn. So Crosby's going to have a good replacement probably this year, because there was a guy that was listed as like a high elite. So that is the draft order for the first 15 picks. Few retired players. Who retired? Anybody? Nope. Nobody retired from us. How about the rest of the league? Goaltending wise, McElhaney. Okay, nobody important. And then in terms of all skaters, Gabrick retires, Hartnell, etc. Doesn't look like anybody from us. Paul Martin retires, the guy we just beat in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's funny. Other than that, doesn't look like any huge retirements. Okay, so now we just need to see. I'm not gonna edit the trading block just yet. I will show you guys actually something quickly. I want to just see what our draft picks are, because I think we might want to move up in the draft, because there was a draft pick I wanted to go after, because I think he's supposed to go in the first/second round. So let's see. I could go trade for asset. Okay, good. So let's just see. Can we find out what draft picks we have yet? Probably not. No, we can't. But we still have a first. We have a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, 2 sixths, and a seventh. So we could probably move up if we wanted to, which is a good sign. Because like I wouldn't mind getting this guy that I was mentioning. Because there's like a guy that I think is a franchise goaltender, but he's supposed to go in later first round. Like I know we have an elite goaltender already, but it wouldn't be bad to pick up a franchise goaltender, especially. I've never had a franchise player in a GM mode, so yeah, he's the exact franchise. But I did say he's top 5 now. Damn, this draft might be really deep though. Wow. He's actually supposed to go late first round. Yeah, look at that, guys. First/second round, exact franchise goaltender. So we're going to have to make a trade and try and get that goaltender. So I'm going to probably have to flip our first and like something like a second round pick to move up. But I think it's worth it to get this guy. Damn, I've never seen an exact franchise go that late. That's interesting. Unless it for some reason changes when I quit. But anyways, that is the draft class. And that's more than likely who I'm going to try and go after, is the Sven Steen guy. But it should be a really deep first round at least. So anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of our Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the off season, where we'll try and do maybe a little bit of a retool, and then hope to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals and win a second straight Stanley Cup. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.